Hey everyone, it's me Shimon and welcome to episode 13 of yet another tech podcast. In this episode, I'm joined by Hayato Huseman from Android Central. And today we'll be discussing about multiple topics, but not restricted to Android Q gesture navigation system, Spotify, custom guitars, PewDiePie versus Tseries, Pixel 3a, Pixel 3 Lite, mirrorless cameras, and much, much more. So buckle up folks, this is going to be a fun one. For those who don't know about you, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Hayato. I write and make videos for Android Central, and I've pretty much been doing that for years for a number of different sites. But Android Central is my current home, and hopefully it stays that way for the foreseeable future.
Super sweet. So, what's your current daily driver right now?
I've been using the Pixel 3 for the last, I don't know, 3-4 months, basically since it came out. I really, really like the small Pixel 3, just because, it's not a giant phone. It fits in my hand, in my pocket, and yeah, I'm just super comfortable with it.
Super sweet because I'm also rocking the Pixel 3 as well because I didn't like the Pixel 3 XL. I cannot
Nice.
unsee that bathtub notch. I just cannot.
Yeah, I don't really hate the notch. Like it's fine. I'm mostly just I don't like the size. I really am getting so tired of like all these phones that just are impossible to use in one hand.
Yeah, same. I literally love the size of Pixel 3. It's so
Oh, it's
pocketable.
so good.
Yeah. So, what's the colorway of your unit?
I got the white one with the little turquoise power button, which I really
Oh,
really like. I think
nice.
more phones need like some kind of accent color.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping the black one would get the orange power button. That would have looked nice.
Yeah, or just something, like orange, blue, just anything besides just a black button. I don't know. It's fine, but I would have liked something a little bit more, fun.
Yeah. All right. So talking about MWC, this was your first MWC, right?
Yeah, yeah, first time in Barcelona.
So just to quickly recap, like how was the experience?
It was really, really busy. I actually only got to go to the convention center for one day. Um, every other day we did a bunch of pre-briefings in the days leading up to the show. So we pretty much had all of our content filmed and prepped before the show actually started. So, I went one day and then everything else was just kind of just editing back in the apartment for the most part. So,
Uh,
it was fun though. Like the Fear is really, really well laid out, which is very different from the other trade shows that I've attended, especially like IFA is kind of known for having the worst show floor. But yeah, MWC is really cool.
all right. So out of all the devices you saw at MWC, be it laptops or tablets, phones, which was the one device which really stood out for you?
I got so excited when we got to see the Mate X from Huawei
Sweet.
because like going into the show, I wasn't really down with the whole foldable phone thing. I just thought, like what's the point? And I'm still kind of there. Like I'm just sort of in this gray area right now, I guess, until I get to actually like use one a little bit more. But it was really cool getting to, physically see this phone being folded and see it in the real space instead of like Samsung kind of had the Galaxy Fold walled off. So you really like nobody got to actually mess with it. But the Mate X, we got a little bit of a briefing time. I didn't get to go, but everybody else on the team kind of like went hands on with the phone, and it was really cool. So Mate X was a super super neat phone, I thought.
It was literally polarizing to see like Galaxy Fold and then 4 days later Mate X. They totally ripped it apart, in my opinion
Yeah,
at least.
yeah. I mean, they both have their own advantages. I think we've pretty much all agreed on the AC team that like I think the Mate X is sort of like the sexier phone as far as like the screens are on the outside, so you've always got this really cool looking like full screen phone. But the Galaxy Fold, I feel like they're probably gonna implement the hardware a little better. Like the Mate X has that button you have to press to unfold it, so it kind of feels like like a retro piece of hardware where they always had that like there was always a quick release button or something. Um, and I kind of trust Samsung to make software to fit this phone a little more than I trust Huawei to.
Oh yes.
So I think the Mate X is definitely the better looking phone, but realistically, not that you should buy either one necessarily in the first iteration, but I think if you do, the Galaxy Fold is going to be the better option overall.
Yeah, I guess so. Plus, it's cheaper as well. Like, not too much, but yeah, it's still cheaper. For those who are looking out to buy it, they might choose it over the Mate X.
Well, I'm wondering if it actually is going to be cheaper though, because there's no US dollar pricing for the Mate X. Everybody's just kind of been basing it off of the, basing it off of converting. I think they gave pricing in euro, and that's just never how phones are actually released. Like a phone will come out for maybe 500-600 euro, and then people are going to expect it to be like an $800 or $900 US phone, and it's just not. Like that's never how that works.
True, that's completely true. So since we're talking about phones, Android Q was supposed to come out yesterday, at least according to the news sources and all. Like, what exactly are you looking forward to in Android Q?
It's sort of funny because we actually last month we got our hands on a Pixel 3 that had somehow we don't really know how the person got it, but it somehow had Android Q on it already, and obviously it's a super early build, but we kind of got to play with it a little bit, and I think for me at least the thing I'm most excited about is having like a system-wide dark mode in stock Android. So that'll be
Finally,
cool.
finally they
Yeah, right.
implemented. So
I
ever
think the other
since
thing though is like, oh, go ahead.
yeah, I was just saying, like, ever since Google started, turning everything into white, that was my hypothesis. Like, first step would be to change everything into white background, and then they'll just flip the switch and turn it into a dark mode UI thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think a white UI is sort of friendlier to look at. Like, dark mode's definitely easier on the eyes, but I think a white mode just kind of looks like something that you might want to interface with. It just looks, welcoming or whatever.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
yeah, my eyes need a rest. Like, I definitely want dark mode on just dark mode all the things.
Even I used like Twitter app completely on dark mode.
Yeah, I don't know how people use it outside of dark mode. Like, white Twitter looks so bad.
Exactly. Like, once I flipped the switch, I never looked back. And when I see other
Yeah.
people using it that way, I'm like, what are you doing?
Which, like, I don't know. I do wish there was an actual real dark mode that wasn't just like this weird dark blue kind of thing. Like, give me an actual black or a dark gray. But that's that's nitpicking. Really, like anything that's like a darker shade is gonna be way easier on your eyes. So I'll take it.
Yeah, same here. I'll just take it. Okay, so since we're talking about Android Q, do you like the navigation gestures on Android P and how they're changing in Q?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. People always complain about them, but I think they're fine. I think the one thing that I really don't like about Pi's gesture nav is the swipe to the side for multitasking or like to switch apps. Mostly because like if you slide the little pill over to the right of the screen, it'll sort of scroll through like 2 or 3 of the apps, but then you really can't like if you want to get to an app that you used maybe 4 or 5 apps ago, like it's not gonna move all the way there. So you have to like let go of the pill and drag the windows on your screen, and it's like a multi-step process when it really shouldn't be, I don't think.
Yeah. So what happened with me was I was completely against the navigation gesture on the Android P. So I was like, nope, I'm going to stick with the traditional 3 button layout. But then I started using it. I'm like, oh, I cannot go back to the 3 navigation buttons layout anymore. I'm like, okay, I'm sticking with P. And then Q, what I found very interesting was they're removing the back button as well. So it's going to be
Yeah.
pretty messy, in my opinion.
No, I think the opposite. I think this is a necessary step to make it cleaner.
Cleaner, I agree.
I think it was maybe the Moto Z3 Z3 or a Z3 Play, I think, was the first phone I used that like
Yeah.
had the pie gestures sort of like they had it had the little pill button, but Motorola's little gesture system was a little different. So they had it where you could just swipe to the left for back, and there was no back button. And I'm like, why doesn't stock Android do this? This is so much better.
I remember it on the G
But I
series.
think-
I think G4 or G5, I guess.
Oh, did it go that far back?
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Okay.
think so.
I think though for a future build, like Android Q doesn't really tackle this, but for some future version of Android, like they really need to address that. I really like these gestures, but they don't, compared to having sort of the capacitive buttons that we used to have, it doesn't really save you any more screen space. So it's kind of like, why is this here?
Yes, I was about to mention that, but yeah, it's nice you brought it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, because I've been using the Honor View 20 a little bit, and it doesn't have a pill and it doesn't have buttons. You know, all the gestures are just like swipe from the bottom or swipe from the sides, and I don't think Honor's gestures are perfect either. But you know, it's like it entirely eliminates the need for any kind of like little bar at the bottom. So you know, it completely saves all that space, and I really like that.
Yeah, like I really enjoyed using the View 20, but I didn't like the back gesture, sliding from the side. That was kind of odd.
Oh, I like it a lot because I think it's reminiscent of how you do that on the iPhone, and that's like one of the few things I really like about iOS is you can just swipe to the right from the left-hand side of the screen, and it just goes back on like almost any app. I think that's really nice.
Oh, interesting. It's really nice to, when you come across different opinions and impressions. Pretty interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I think it gives perspective on like, why maybe a software developer doesn't implement these things. And it's like one person's like, oh, well, it doesn't make sense not to do this. They should absolutely make this change. And, maybe 5 other people are like, well, but I like it this way.
True. Okay, so let's switch gears for a moment and let's talk about mirrorless cameras.
Yeah.
So, is there any recent mirrorless camera which caught your eye and you're like, oh, that looks nice?
A few. I mean, I've had my eyes on the A7 III from Sony for, basically ever since they announced it. I don't know how really, that's not really super recent. It's been a year or so, but that's
It's
still
pretty
sort
nice.
of
It's pretty nice.
Yeah, every time I see a friend using it or, I see one in like a store shelf, I'm like, man, I really, really want that. But I think more recently, I'm really curious to try out the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K.
Yeah, that looks like a beast.
Yeah, the reviews all seem to say that the battery life is just like abysmally bad, but everything else is great about it. And I'm like, okay, well, as long as I don't know if you can, but as long as you can charge it with a battery pack, or just power it from a battery pack the same way you can with a Sony,
Yeah.
then I think it's okay. Obviously it's better to have good battery life, but you can work around it in a studio setting.
Yeah, just slap a 20,000 mAh battery and you're good to go.
Yeah, I mean that's always been like one of my favorite things about any Sony cameras is like, especially now that they have USB-C, you can just like, if you have any kind of portable battery pack for your phone, you can use the same thing to power your Sony camera. So like they've really fixed battery life a lot with the A7 III, but even if they hadn't, it's it's you can sort of offset it with a battery pack.
Yeah.
My GH5 from Panasonic I really like, but even though it has a USB-C port, you can't power it off of it. Like there's
What?
You can't charge the battery, you can't run it off the battery. There's no like power pass through.
So it's only for data connection.
Yeah.
So, did you get your hands on the latest Nikon mirrorless cameras or the ones from Canon? Z6, Z7?
No, I really want to try out the Z6. My fiance uses a lot of Nikon cameras, and she's got a ton of Nikon lenses. So, if I had a Z6, and I would still need an adapter because the mirrorless.
Everybody needs a new
they're-
mount now.
Yeah. But even then, it's like I get a $150 adapter and a Z6, and suddenly, I could use all of her lenses, and she's got just amazing glass. She's got the like pretty much all of Sigma's art series.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, they're fantastic. So the Z6 has been tempting. I haven't really looked into any of the Canon mirrorless cameras, but yeah, the Z6 I want to check out. My manager Daniel has been really considering trading one of his cameras in because Nikon's running like this trade-in deal right now, where it's like you get you get whatever the trade-in value for your camera is, plus they'll give you like an extra $500 towards a Z6. So he's been really tempted by that.
That's amazing. That's a very nice
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah, I think Nikon's just like trying to get more people onto the mirrorless train now, like now that they've got it. So they're like trying to sweeten the deal.
Yeah, yeah. And somehow I found out like Z6 is better than Z7, like in terms of overall package. People are like,
Really?
yeah. It's like Z6 is more geared towards video persons, and Z7 is purely for photography purposes. Like, of course, you can record video,
Okay.
but still, it's geared more towards photography uses.
Okay. Yeah, I was surprised to see that the Z6 is actually like people say it's a really really good video camera, and I think historically Nikon's have been like not super great for video. Like you can shoot video with them, but they're not like really meant for it. But people seem to be like going ballistic over the video on the Z6. So I don't know.
Yeah. I recently had my hands on EOS RP. That was one nice camera. I loved it.
That's their new mirrorless, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like a full frame but entry level camera. It's what? It's
Oh
I
yeah,
think it's $1,200.
that's so cheap. Wow. I
Yeah.
mean, that's I hate saying that something that's like over $1,000 is cheap, but like
But yeah,
it's a full frame mirrorless camera. Like that's a
comparatively
very
cheap.
affordable model. Yeah.
So I even pinged like Canon people. They're like, "Oh, it's with photography blogs right now. I'll get back to you later." Like, okay, take your time, but I need my hands on it. I played with it with a lens which was 28 to 75 millimeters. It was heavy. With that lens,
Oh, I bet.
yeah, like otherwise the body is really lightweight, but with that lens, oh boy, it was so heavy. But yeah, I liked
Yeah,
it.
that's one of the weird things about a lot of these mirrorless cameras. I think less so with Panasonic because like the GH5 is kind of the size of like a normal DSLR. I mean, it's a little smaller, but it's like the same general shape. But like Sony and Canon and I think kind of the Z6 with Nikon too. It's like they all make the bodies of these mirrorless cameras super thin. So it's like, yeah, you get like a really small body that doesn't weigh much, and that's really nice. But then with a lens, it's like really unbalanced because like full frame glass is always super heavy. So it's like your wrist just kind of has to lean forward if you're holding the camera with one hand, and I don't know, it's not super ergonomic design, I don't think, but
Yeah.
at least the quality's there.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's somewhat a patent related issue or not. So I really miss the articulating screen on Canon cameras. I'm not sure why
Yeah.
Sony is not doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what people have been grilling them about for so long, right? Like everybody's always yelling at Sony to make a camera with a flip out display.
They somewhat did it with the A6400, but it's still somewhat like a half-baked solution.
Yeah, I mean, it flips up, and then it just gets in the way of like you can't have the screen and a microphone on the cold shoe mount at the same time.
That
So
was
it's-
dumb.
Yeah, it's better than nothing, I guess, but
Yeah.
it's still like, come on, guys.
True. Panasonic somewhat made a workaround. Like, if I'm not mistaken, they have the same articulating screen as Canon, but it like doesn't fold one way.
I mean, you can. So it flips out to the side, like it flips out to the left, and then you can rotate it. You can rotate it 180 so it faces the front, or you can kind of tilt it like it doesn't go all the way down the other way, but it'll go like sort of half down to like a 90-degree angle.
Yeah, I think that's the workaround they made just to avoid that patent from Canon, I guess. At least that's what it is. Sony needs to find out something because I really miss the articulating screen.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't know. I guess it's not super vlogging friendly, but I'm not a vlogger anyway, so that's okay. But I really like even though it's just spending more money, I like the solution that a lot of people seem to take, where they have you seen what is the brand Small HD with all of their different monitors for cameras?
Yes. Yeah.
Their focus monitor, it just sits on top. It's like a 5-inch monitor, and you can use the battery from that monitor to power your camera and the monitor at the same time.
Jeez.
So Sony people love it, because then like suddenly you have this display that flips out. It's huge, and like your battery life on your camera is suddenly like way longer. And the monitor is like $500. It's kind of pricey, but I think for what you're getting out of it, like it's a worthwhile purchase.
So consider this. Suppose you have a budget of $1,000. Would you rather go and buy a mirrorless or a good DSLR in that price range?
I mean, my answer would have to be mirrorless, but that's just because like I've been on mirrorless so long, I just don't really pay much attention to like more traditional DSLRs. So I would go with, I don't know, for $1,000, I think you can pick up like an A6300 or maybe even an A6500 with a kit lens, and that's like a pretty good starting point. I mean, even better if you can get one with a better lens, then you've got yourself a really good camera. Yeah. Or Panasonic makes a bunch of like $600 mirrorless cameras that shoot 4K and like really, really good values. So I'd probably get one of those.
You're using GH5 currently, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so which was the $600 one? GH4?
No, although I think you can get a GH4, like a pre-owned one from B&H for somewhere around that price now. Like they've gotten insanely cheap. No, they've got like it's a tiny little camera. It kind of looks like an A6300. I think it's like the Panasonic G7, I think is the one.
Sweet. Sounds good to me. Okay, so I've got a really important question, all right?
Yeah, what's that?
Are you subscribed to PewDiePie?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Any specific reason for that?
I just don't really. I don't watch like playthrough videos. I'm not like I don't know. I would rather I'd rather play a game than watch somebody else play it.
Okay, so here's the plot twist. He doesn't do gaming videos anymore. It has been like 2 years.
That shows how much I pay attention. What does he do now?
Meme reviews. Just reacting to content all over the world.
I know. I mean, I've been a fan of Jack's films for, I don't know, like
that dude is amazing.
10 years now, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been watching him forever, and he's got that series. Yesterday I Asked You, and I know that PewDiePie kind of like lifted that for Last Week I Asked You.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to the point where like because PewDiePie's got so many more subscribers, like his fans end up thinking that like Jack stole it from him.
Yeah. So both of them had to create a video telling that no, that's not the case. But then it went really meta, and people still didn't get it. that was fun.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Like anytime I see stuff like that with PewDiePie, I'm like, okay, well he seems like a cool dude, good sport, and all that. I just like I pay no attention to that side of things, I guess.
So I guess today or yesterday, he was overtaken by Tseries again for like 5 minutes. So
yeah, I've been seeing that kind of back and forth on Twitter.
It's crazy what's happening in India, because it's weird, because it shouldn't be related to nationality, but some people are forcing it. Like, if you don't support Tseries, you're anti-national. Okay, so let's not get into that. But yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Oh god, that's really crazy.
It's kind of weird though, because like isn't T-Series like it's like a corporation, right? Like it's not just one guy. It's like a big.
It's a music label. It's a complete music. Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
So it was started by one guy. So it's literally the music label which holds all the Bollywood songs in a nutshell. Yeah. So there's that. So that's why like Spotify even signed a deal with T-Series when they were entering the Indian market.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so Spotify recently launched officially in India.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, I stress on officially because I've been like using it since 4 or 5 years.
Oh, do you just use like a VPN
to the rescue.
Yeah.
Yeah. VPN and another secret sauce, which I can't say in public.
I'm glad that Spotify works with a VPN and it's not like, like Netflix. If you use a VPN, it knows and it like won't let you stream.
You're using Spotify, right? Of course.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've been using it
So,
for I don't know, like almost a decade, I think.
sweet. So, you're paying $10 per month, I guess.
I think so. Yeah, it's like 10 or 12 or something like that. I think it's 10.
Okay, so guess the price in India.
I'm gonna say like I mean the US equivalent of I would assume like
No, no,
maybe
just tell me the dollar price.
oh, okay. Um, let's say like 15, $20.
It's actually $1.7.
No way. For premium?
Yeah, premium. Isn't that
No
sweet?
way.
So I even convinced my another friend who lives in US and like, dude, just cancel your US subscription and switch over to the Indian one. That's super cheap. Like when I heard about
Yeah,
it,
that's
like,
insane.
yeah, I know, right? Like even when you compare all the other services apart from Spotify, say Netflix and Amazon Prime, it's exponentially cheaper in India.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I wish I could get that because even the
you can actually get it,
well, no, like even the like college discount pricing for students is still like $5 a month, which is really good, but it's not that good.
Okay, so college pricing in India would be around $1.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's amazing. So the only deal right now is Spotify is running a battle with another music label. I think it's Warner. So out of my whole music library, 1/3 of the songs are not available right now. 1/4,
Yeah,
sorry, 1/4. Yeah. So I'm like,
I've
I should
been
have switched from my US account.
yeah, I've been dealing with well, I haven't personally been dealing with that, but I've been following along because I've got a ton of friends in the music business that are like not enjoying this exchange.
Yeah. So it's like you can change your country in the Spotify account once every month, like in your every billing cycle. So I'm like, okay,
Okay.
I'm starting fresh, so I'll just turn it to India and then pay for the premium. Once I switched, I was like, oh, almost 100 of my songs are unavailable. They're just showing up in my playlist, but they're unavailable.
Oh man, we went on a little road trip yesterday, and I kept on going to like a bunch of different bands' Spotify pages and trying to stream something, and it's just like it's all blacked out. And I'm like, well, that's cool, I guess.
That's not cool, bro. So, just some names on top of my head, like Daft Punk is not available. Like, come on, Daft Punk is not
Yeah.
available, and some Calvin Harris songs are not available. Skrillex is not available, um, and some more
Wow.
people. Are
Yeah,
not
these are all big names.
I know, right? I'm like, how can you not include these? And talking about Spotify and all, YouTube Music launched today, like literally 2 hours ago.
In India?
Yeah. So now you have YouTube Music, YouTube Premium, and YouTube Music Premium. Those are three different things, right?
Yeah, I
don't
don't
use.
really keep up with all that stuff. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think I received a press release. Yeah, I did. So it's YouTube Music, YouTube Premium, and YouTube Music Premium. Wow, that's confusing. But yeah. So, you know what? The ability to download videos from YouTube, that was like already there in the free tier in India because first world country. So that was pretty nice. So, are you paying for YouTube Premium?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I try to make sure that I have no pre-roll ads in anything that I watch ever. So like I've got YouTube Premium and whatever the extra paid version of Hulu is, so I don't have ads on Hulu videos or anything like that.
Oh, interesting. So, how much are you paying for YouTube Premium?
I think it's 10 a month, and then it comes with all that
Jeez.
other stuff that I don't use, like YouTube Music and Google Play Music and all that.
Google Play Music is trash. I tried it for
Mm-hmm.
a week and like, nope, not happening again.
Yeah,
So
I'm
you,
really not a fan. I mean, I like that you can upload your own music, and that's really nice, but the UI is so bad, and I don't enjoy using it. Plus, there's no desktop app.
yeah, that's bad. Although I really don't use any desktop apps on my laptop. Anything I can do on
Really?
Chrome, I just use it on Chrome.
Oh, I'm the other way around. I love using desktop apps.
Why? Any specific reason?
I just hate having a bunch of different tabs open on Chrome, and like I don't know. I like the separation. Like I can just use a hotkey and just switch between different apps instead of like you can technically use a hotkey in Chrome and just like Command 3 or whatever tab you're looking for, but it's just easier when I can just kind of spread out all of my different apps across my monitor.
Interesting. So I might as well just see if using desktop apps are less RAM intensive because, Chrome, being Chrome, it just eats RAM like it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, no kidding. I think it also comes down to like what apps you're using, obviously, but like Slack in particular is like pretty bad about eating up RAM.
True.
But I don't know. I think most of the apps I use are fairly lightweight. So I don't know. I like the separation, and I think like when it's a desktop app, it's like a bit more optimized where like all the you get all kinds of different hotkeys that aren't gonna like bump into whatever hotkeys Chrome also has. Like you don't have to kind of like work around having each. So
Agreed. So I had this kind of notion like for smart, like pretty pretty much few years ago, like not few years ago, but in the starting of smartphone era, my plan was like, okay, I won't install any apps. I will just use everything on Chrome on smartphones.
oh
I'm just
yeah.
yeah, like opening Facebook or Twitter, anything on the Chrome app itself. Then I just switched like, okay, if it's smartphones, I'll just use apps. And then it's polar opposite on laptop. If I can do something on Chrome, I'll just do it on Chrome. I don't like desktop apps. The only desktop app I have is for Discord because I need to keep it running when I'm playing games with someone else. That's the only app I have, like a
I
proper
think
app.
I think like the one exception for me because I always like to have apps on my phone too. I try to keep like as few apps as possible, but if I can have an app for a service, I'm gonna use it. But I think the one exception is like I try to sometimes like I try to not install Facebook on my phone just because I hate getting all those different notifications and everything, and I
I
just
need,
don't use Facebook enough.
yeah, I want to delete
So
Facebook.
like yeah, me too. But I just I like most phones I usually just end up going to facebook.com on Chrome instead of like downloading the app, and it's lighter, and I don't get all those constant notifications, and like I'm not super concerned about privacy, but as an added bonus, Facebook doesn't have access to all your phone privileges. So
Yeah, agreed. So have you considered like deleting your Facebook account completely? Like not for privacy concerns, but just like it's distracting and all?
I would love to. The biggest reason I don't is because of all these different music communities that I'm involved in on Facebook. So like if I delete my Facebook suddenly, I just like lose all access to those things. So that's kind of the big reason why I don't. But yeah, I aside from those, I would really really love to not have a Facebook account.
Same here. So the only reason I'm not doing it because there are some people which will be completely deleted from my life if I uninstall Facebook. But then I
Does
retrospect
that
like,
sound so bad though?
yeah, I'm like, are they really my friends if I completely forget about them, about Facebook? Like, does it even matter? And then I just leave Facebook as it is. Like, it's for memes. Sometimes people
Yeah.
just tag me on memes. And like, okay, that's fine. So, out of all social media platforms, which one is your favorite right now?
I think Instagram because I don't know, like I still love tech, but I'm way more interested and I think more involved in music, and it's like I really like that. Like if I tweet something about my favorite guitar brand or like check out this new song, like nobody cares. I get like 5 interactions with it, and like that's the end of it. On Instagram, it's like that's like Instagram is sort of the actual community for musicians because that's like it's a really good medium for like sharing quick videos of you playing your instrument or whatever else. So I really like Instagram, but also I'm a big fan of Twitter. I've gotten my last 3 or 4 jobs from Twitter, so really, really like that.
Yeah, same would be for me. Like top three apps would be Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit. Can't live
Yeah, I
without
don't use
Reddit.
Reddit as much as I used to, but I still like going on there sometimes.
Yeah, so that's like the meme hierarchy. You get it on 4chan, it trickles down to Reddit, then it
Oh
trickles
yeah.
down to Instagram, then it goes to 9gag and all. So
Oh man, 9gag.
yeah, I can't I can't go fully mental and go to 4chan, but yeah, Reddit is my threshold.
No, nobody should go to 4chan.
That's terrible. Or more like it's deep, and you don't want to get into that.
Yeah, 4chan's like it's like just below like the deep web as far as like things that you shouldn't go to for similar reasons.
Yeah.
Like 4chan's like deep web light. 4chan is boneless deep web.
Yeah, that totally makes sense actually. So talking about like music and all, like what kind of genres do you listen to?
I mean, I don't know. I guess I listen to a lot of stuff, but mostly it's progressive metal and sort of that general range of things.
I haven't seen like your custom made guitar is coming soon. You gave an order,
Yeah,
right?
I'm really excited for that. I'm really really excited for that. That's it's my first custom guitar, so
Nice.
that's
So
really cool.
I'm not too much into guitars. Like I did play it in school, but what do you mean by a custom guitar? What are the variables in a custom guitar?
I mean, you just get to choose everything. I mean, yeah,
Like apart from colors, like what's the main thing?
you can just say I want this hardware, I want these pickups, I want, um just pretty much any aspect about the guitar you can customize. Because like pickups especially are just such a big thing. So you can change the pickups, you can change the hardware, you can just choose whatever finishes or combinations of finishes if they're willing to work with you on that.
Okay, so I might sound like a total noob, but what are pickups?
They're the things that transfer the sounds of you playing to they're the magnets that pick up the sounds of you playing and send them out to an amp
Oh,
or to
literally
whatever
pick
else
up.
you use. Yeah.
Oh, I see, I see. So the
They're those rectangles beneath the strings on the guitar.
oh, I see, I see. Okay, okay, I get it now. I get it. Okay, so have you been playing any games recently?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, not super recently, but a couple months ago, we started playing Red Dead 2 and got through that game, and I was not expecting it to be like so devastatingly powerful. Like it's a really emotional, really, really good game. Like I never played Red Dead 1, so I didn't really know what I was getting into, but yeah, Red Dead 2 is just phenomenal from a storytelling perspective and super open world, and I liked it so much.
Yeah, like Rockstar they totally take their own happy time. They take like 6 to 8 years, but when they deliver, it's amazing. It's
Oh
phenomenal.
yeah. Yeah, like I don't play many Rockstar games. This was my first Red Dead, and I think the only other Rockstar game I've played was GTA 5. It was like the first time I'd ever played a GTA game, but that one too was like surprisingly a good story and great gameplay. So yeah, I really like them.
Considering it came out in 2013, and if even if you play it now, it's still pretty relevant. Like all the content and all, still feels
Oh yeah.
fresh.
Well, part of it with GTA 5 is like part of it is that they constantly update it with like small things where they'll like add a little bit more dialogue just for like random conversations with strangers, or they'll always update the radio stations. So like I fired up GTA 5 for the first time in a long time yesterday, and some of the songs on the radio station were like new, like had just come out in the last couple of months, and I was like, hey man, this is pretty cool. They just keep it really current.
True indeed. So, are you a PC gaming guy or a console gaming guy?
I play on a console because I don't own a PC.
Have you ever tried or even imagined playing game on your Mac?
I've tried it a few times with certain games, and like it works okay on some games, but I'm really not like I'm not a super big gamer, so like I just don't really want to put the time and the money into like decking out a giant gaming PC. I know you
Those
can
are
like
not
you can
cheap.
make one for yeah you can make one for like a fairly reasonable cost these days, but it's still just like I don't want to spend the money on that when like that's the only thing I would use it for. All of my content creation software is like Mac only, so I would have to completely like like get new software, probably switch to Adobe, which I don't really want to do, and like just completely change up my workflow just so I could game a little bit. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
So, apart from Red Dead Redemption 2, have you been playing any Battle Royale games? Maybe PUBG,
no.
Apex
A few of my
Legends?
friends want me to, yeah, a few friends want me to try out Apex so I can play with them, but
Dude, you
I don't
must.
know.
You should.
I I'm just not much of an online gamer, man. Like I love Halo. That was always kind of like the game I grew up playing with other people, but even then it's like I'm not good at those games. So I just keep on getting destroyed by these people that like sit on there day in and day out, and I'm like, man, this isn't fun when I just keep on dying.
Eventually you start having fun. Apart from Fortnite, I tried Fortnite once. I installed it within an hour. I'm like, nope, this isn't fun.
I've never I've never played it. I mean, I've never played like any of these battle royale type games, but I just don't even really know much about Fortnite. I know that they keep on getting sued for stealing dances, and then the cases keep getting thrown out. But I don't know anything about it really.
Yeah, it's better if you stay off it. I didn't find it interesting at all. First of all, it looks very cartoonish. And the
Yeah, it
second thing, it
does.
has building mechanics. I'm like, no, I wouldn't say it's complicated, but it's unnecessary, in my opinion. And for those who like it and they're good at it, hey, good for you. What works for you is good for you.
Yeah.
Are there any specific games you're looking forward to in 2019?
Yeah. I've never really been much of a Nintendo gamer. I mean, I had like a Nintendo 64, and a GameCube, but like the
Wait, you
Wii
do
never
have a
grabbed
Switch, right?
me. I do, yeah. So now that I've got the Switch, like I've missed so many other Nintendo games because I didn't have like a Wii or a Wii U, and I'm so excited for like all these new continuations of games that I played on GameCube. So like Animal Crossing, whenever that's gonna come out, I'm super excited for. Luigi's Mansion 3, I'm really excited for. Um, I'm a big fan of like old school Pokemon games, but I can't really keep up with all the newer guys. So like I don't know how I feel about the Sword and Shield games that are coming out. I haven't really like looked into it much, but yeah, just a lot of Switch games I'm excited for.
So nothing across like the PS4 land.
Okay, so there's one game. It's pretty niche, I guess. I don't know, but I'm a huge fan of the game Spelunky. If you've ever played that,
What?
it's like a little it's not really 8-bit, but it's like kind of that styling. So it's just kind of like arcade style, like a side scroller, but you're going through all these different caves and collecting money and items and stuff like that. I mean, I've lost hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours to that game, and Spelunky 2 is finally coming out for the PS4 in a few months, I think. I know they're demoing it at GDC this week,
This is
so I'm
interesting.
really excited for that.
Yeah, I was searching for it. Looks like a retro game of sorts. Looks good.
Yeah, I'm such a fan. I've got it on Xbox and PS4 because I like started on the PS4 and then I stopped playing that console, so I just like have it on Xbox now. And yeah, it's probably my favorite game. I've definitely spent more time on this game than like anything else.
Sweet. So for me personally, I'm looking forward to The Last of Us Part 2. Um,
Yeah, me too, actually.
I have my doubts that it won't be coming into 2019. I really don't think
Yeah,
so.
I don't know what to expect as far as a time frame goes, but I think as long as the game itself ends up being as good as we're all hoping for, like I don't mind waiting if it takes until 2020, that's fine. Just make it a good game, you
Yeah,
know?
but the thing is, 2020 would be the year of next gen consoles. So it'll be in a tight spot where you'll have new generation consoles and you're going to launch a previous gen game.
Yeah, I mean, I think they did that with The Last of Us 1 though, didn't they? Like it came out fairly close
Late.
to the launch of the PS4.
Yeah.
So like the PS3 game like got super big, and then the PS4 came out, and it took them a while to port it to the new console, but like it eventually made its way.
Yeah, it was 1080p 60 FPS, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, it is just gorgeous. It's so nice to play on the PS4.
I really want console games to hit 60 FPS mark. I don't want 4K. I just want I'll be happy, more than happy with 1080p 60 FPS. But nope.
Yeah,
Everybody wants to focus on 4K.
yeah. I mean, ideally, I would love to have both, but obviously, with at least current specs, that's pretty. That's asking a lot. So if I had to choose between the two, I would definitely take 60 frames before 4K.
So yeah, apart from The Last of Us Part 2, I'm also looking forward to the Avengers Initiative game. Like it still doesn't have a title yet. It's just that Square Enix is working on it since 2 years, I guess. So there's
Really?
that. Yeah. And then there's the Batman Arkham game, which doesn't have a title yet, but it's being teased everywhere. It's going to be around the Court of Owls. That one is going to be interesting. Have you played like Arkham series?
No, I think I bought it forever ago, and then I just never got around to playing it. Like I think I got like super busy right after I bought it, and then once I wasn't busy, I just kind of forgot about it. I don't know.
But yeah, it's fun. I've played like all of them apart from Origins, which was a spin-off kind of game. But yeah, looking forward to these three. So talking about GDC, did you check out the Google patent about it? That weird gaming controller and all?
Uh, yeah, I saw that, but wasn't that like it was a leak that somebody just kind of made a render off of the patent files? So like it wasn't like the image that was going around everywhere wasn't really Google's actual product render. It was just like something that somebody made.
Yeah, true. So it was based off a patent design, and one guy just slapped a 3D render on it. Like,
Yeah.
in my opinion, that looks bad. Doesn't look ergonomic at all.
Oh, it looks horrible, but I don't know. It's hard to gauge from a render that's not official, I think.
Hmm. But apart from that, I'm really looking forward to cloud gaming and all.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that stuff. Like I tried PlayStation had it on the PS4. It was PlayStation Now.
Hmm.
And I mean, I say had, they still have it, but it's just like I tried it a couple of years ago with like I was playing BioShock on the PS4 before the PS4 like collection came out. So I was just streaming the PS3 version, and it ran so poorly, even though I had like a pretty good network connection. It just kind of put me off of the whole thing. I don't know. I'm sure it's a lot better now because it's been like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, like totally depends upon the servers and all. It's particularly interesting because I'm a cloud computing student. So I was a cloud computing student. So that's all interesting to me. And being Google, like they have GCP, Google Cloud Platform, that's pretty nice. So pretty interested how it will all turn out because they ran beta tests where you could just play Assassin's Creed Odyssey on Google Chrome. That was amazing.
Oh
Without,
yeah.
I tried to sign up for it, but I couldn't, even with a VPN.
I signed up for it because I mean, we were all told to at AC just so we could so somebody would get access for coverage, but I wasn't the first one to get it, so I just didn't really mess with it.
Oh, so did anyone get through it?
Yeah, I think Russell did, and yeah, I think it actually ended up working really well, but I'm not really sure. I could be just completely BSing you.
You're talking about all this cloud gaming stuff. Did you get a chance to try any cloud game titles on Switch? I know there are like a couple of them, not couple, but several of them, including Resident Evil 7, if I recall correctly.
No, I don't think I have. I don't know. I feel bad because I really love the Switch, but I haven't booted it in a couple of weeks just because like I've been in and out of town so much that like I just haven't really had time to play it lately. But I don't think I've played any cloud games. The NES games, those aren't streamed, are they?
No, I don't think so. Why would you stream NES games? You can just run it on a potato.
I mean, yeah. Oh no, you have to have the online service to play them, but yeah, they're not streamed. So yeah,
So like a DRM
I
service?
haven't then. Yeah, something like that. Like it's Nintendo's monthly thing is only like $2 a month, but yeah, you have to have that to get the NES like collection.
Oh, I see. So, this is what I don't like about consoles. Like, I have to pay to, play online. I'm like, why? It's free on PC.
Yeah, agreed. It's pretty annoying, especially because like I was saying earlier, my friends want me to try out Apex Legends, but it's like they're all on PlayStation, I'm on Xbox, and if I get it on PlayStation so I can play with them, then I suddenly have to, like re-sign up for the online play, and it's like $10 a month or something like that. I don't want to do all that.
Oof. Might as well just open a new account, start a trial, play,
Yeah.
and then cut it off.
Yeah, I already did that forever ago when they do you remember when the PSN got hacked? Like, I don't know.
It was 2 years ago,
probably
I guess. 3 years ago.
No, it was back when I was in like high school.
Wait, it was during PS3, right?
Yeah.
More than 5-6 years ago then.
Yeah, I think it was like 8 or 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't know. I'm 25 now, so it's got to be at least more than that. I don't know. It's been a while. Either way, whenever that happened, I lost access to my account because, like, when I signed up for the PlayStation Network, like, I was not 18, so you have to like, they were really strict about you have to have like a separate, like one of your parents has to have an account to then authorize your account.
Wow.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. So like my parents weren't going to play the PlayStation online, so my dad was like, yeah, whatever, just make one in my name and then approve it from there. It's whatever. And I forgot the password to that master account. So when my underage account got hacked and I had to reset the password, you needed to send that password confirmation to the master account, and I couldn't get signed in, so I had to create a whole new thing and lost all of my data and lost everything.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
It's been close to a decade, and I'm still just like, man, that sucks.
Well, all of us were not 18 when internet came around, so like, yeah, bypassed all the walls and gardens.
Right?
Yeah, for
Man,
Facebook
speaking
and
of, the
everything.
internet just turned 30 today. If you didn't see
Yeah,
that.
I did read the news. I'm like, wow, that's a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane.
Time flies by pretty quickly. Which reminds me, we have crossed the 1 hour mark. Wow, time does fly pretty quickly.
Oh, wow, have we?
Yeah. Okay, so final question.
Wow.
Are there any smartphones which you're looking forward to in 2019? Like, of course you're looking forward to, but which are the most top ones you're looking forward to in 2019?
I mean, I think we talked about it earlier with the foldable phones. I'm definitely excited to check out the Mate X and the Galaxy Fold. Like not on a showroom floor. Like I would love to spend some actual time with it. And then I guess just I'm sure there will be phones that none of us are expecting, like just new models entirely. But I'm always excited about new Pixels, especially now that like the Pixel 3 is my first. It's my first Pixel that I've personally owned.
Mhm.
So now I'm like super interested in continued models, and whatever OnePlus puts out, they're always super good phones. I hate what I've seen of the like purported renders of the OnePlus 7 with that like pop out
I
camera.
don't like it, man. I don't like it either.
Really, really not about it, but it's still gonna be a good phone. And yeah, I mean, I guess like the new Galaxy Note will be nice too, just because the Galaxy Notes are always nice. They're not really my thing; they're too big for me, but they're always great phones.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Pixel 4, the mini one.
Yeah, if that is that still happening? A mini version?
Yeah, like Pixel 4 and Pixel 4 XL.
Oh, I thought you meant like an even smaller version, like how they were going to have
the Pixel 3 Lite and Lite XL.
Yeah.
I heard
Yeah.
that's happening and they would be launching in India in summer, but I don't see the point. Might as well just scrap it. Because already Pixel is exorbitantly priced in India.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Everywhere.
isn't that the point though? Like they want it to be cheaper. They want like a super affordable kind of like budget mid-tier model.
But the point being, in a market like India, Xiaomi's already playing they're totally monopolizing the whole market in the low and mid-tier phones market. So
Yeah, that's true.
Google cannot hold a candle in front of them, and even Samsung for that matter. So might as well just not try.
Yeah, because Samsung's been pushing like the A series pretty hard over there,
Yeah,
right?
A and M series.
Yeah.
It's better than their J
Yeah,
series
versus
for
like
sure.
here in the. Oh, definitely. Yeah, the J series is. I don't want to say it's horrible because like for the price they're fine, but they're not super appealing. No, like here in the States, I mean you'll find the J series for like at carrier stores. It's always like the prepaid option.
Oh,
But aside from that, it's like I don't think I've ever seen a Galaxy A series phone in the US like on a store shelf. I think Sprint carries them, and that's about it. Maybe AT&T, but they're just not really widely spread over here. Though, I am excited to see like, I mean, it's already out, but like I want to spend more time with the Galaxy S10e. I think that thing is so dope.
that's exactly what I told the Indian PR over here. Like, listen, this might sound weird, but I want to check out S10e first. Don't send me the S10 or S10 Plus.
Yeah, I mean, I get it because it's a really attractive price point compared to the other models. It's it's obviously it's small and nice to hold. And have you used one at a briefing or anything
Yeah,
yet?
yeah, yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, it feels exactly like it's almost identical in size and even like form factor to like an iPhone 10.
And even Pixel 3.
So it's kind of this thing that everybody has been asking for. I think it's a little bit smaller than the 3, isn't it?
Yeah, if you don't count the bezels, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess I guess they're all kind of the same size because it is very similar to like an iPhone 10.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I think the footprint is
but that's
same,
like-
but the S10e has a bigger screen because no bezels.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's like exactly what we've all been asking for, right? Like we all want, I don't want to say everybody, but I definitely want like an iPhone 10 running Android. And that's seems, it's pretty much it right there.
Yeah, I love the size of 10. And now that I'm using Pixel 3, I'm like totally spoiled by it. And I have to return it
Yeah.
soon. I'm like, no.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got spoiled by it. I love the haptic feedback. It's so nice. Like, of course, it's not as good as the iPhone
Yeah.
10, but it's still pretty nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's one of those things where like you kind of have to settle on Android for like, your options are either like Pixel 3 is kind of I'd say Pixel 3 haptics are like a 6 or a 7, and most Android phones are like a 3.
Oh, true.
So you just kind of have to be like, well, this is good.
True.
But then you pick up an iPhone, you're like, oh my god, this feels, the haptics are amazing.
Yeah, that crunchy, poppy feedback is amazing.
Yeah, it's super good. Of course, then you're on an iPhone, and there's all kinds of other downsides. I don't know. iPhones are good phones. They're just
Not my thing.
for people like us. Yeah, it's not really super appealing if you're like a tinkerer.
Yeah. A friend of mine switched from Pixel 3 XL to iPhone 10 Plus, and he was like happy for a while, and then like since he was a Google user, he was using Google Photos and all, and then turns out it's a whole cluster of on iOS where you can't import your photos and all. Like if you have to back up your photos, your whole library gets backed up at once. You can't particularly choose a folder or the photos clicked by the device itself.
So it's a nightmare with Google Photos on iOS because of the way iOS
Particularly works, I guess.
handles apps running in the background.
I guess so.
So like you have to on an Android phone, you don't really have to think about it. Your photos are just going to get uploaded in the background no matter what. On iOS, it's not going to do that with Google Photos unless you have recently opened the app. So if you're doing something else, your photos are never going to end up on Google Photos until you open it again.
Wow.
It's super, super
They
frustrating.
literally want you to pay for iCloud. Apple Cloud, or is it iCloud? iCloud it is.
iCloud, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's not an active, it's not Apple really going out of their way to make that happen or anything. It's just, that's just how iOS handles any kind of apps in the background.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. When I was in Spain for MWC, it's like you see so many less iPhones. Of course, I was surrounded by other tech reviewers, so most of them have an iPhone on hand. But like general civilians don't really carry iPhones as much as in America.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of that is like what we were talking about before we started recording. How absolutely nobody in America. Unless you're unless you're from another country or you have a lot of family from another country or something like that, like nobody uses WhatsApp. You're never going to see, just like two people just like randomly using WhatsApp on the streets or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Versus obviously, in other countries, it's like the number one ubiquitous messaging service. But since nobody uses WhatsApp here, it's like that makes the iPhone a lot more appealing because you can, it's like, oh, all my friends with an iPhone have iMessage and I can't use iMessage, and that sucks.
Yeah, that's really interesting, because here WhatsApp is a staple. So
Yeah.
if you want to chat with someone, you use WhatsApp. If you just want to call someone, you can use WhatsApp. Like nobody calls these days. I'm like more of a text person. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's an all-in-one app.
I don't know anybody. The only person I know here that uses WhatsApp is somebody who like frequently travels to other countries for work and has to like keep close communication with people from outside of the U.S. But that's about it.
One of the best things I like about WhatsApp is I can access it on my laptop as well. So I don't have to check my phone again and again.
Well, see, and that's what iMessage does, and like that's one of the reasons people like it.
Oh, I just reverse engineered iMessage, I guess. So you were mentioning that you use normal text messaging, right?
Yeah, with most of my non-tech friends, yeah. I think with tech people, it's like, oh well, we'll just ping me on Slack or DM me on whatever social network. But yeah, with most people outside of the like tech reviewing space, yeah, I just text them.
Wow, that comes off pretty weird to me. And how do you handle like group chats if you're using SMS?
Oh, I don't. I hate doing group chats.
Yeah, I only use it when like I have to plan something. Like we're going out or something. We just make a group chat and then have a word. But how do you handle that? Like, of course you don't, but still, if that need arises, how do you handle that?
The very few times that happens for me, it's like we just use Facebook Messenger because that's something that like
that works.
Like no matter what phone, like everybody has it. So
I really don't use Facebook Messenger. Like once in a blue moon, someone just messages me out of anywhere, like hey, and then I reply.
I use it. I use it with like marketplace groups on Facebook where like people are buying or selling music gear. But yeah, outside of that, I don't use it much unless either like I don't know how to reach you outside of Facebook, which is not that common, or B, like again with group stuff. Last time I was in New York, we kind of met up with a bunch of our tech friends and just like kind of arranged it all on Facebook. Like, hey, let's go to this karaoke bar and figure it out from there. So
Pretty interesting. Okay, man. So let's wrap this up and tell us where we can find you on the interwebs.
yeah, I mean, I'm pretty easy to find anywhere, assuming you can spell my name, which means I'm not easy to find. But I'm Hayato Huseman, like everywhere. So just Hayato Huseman. Pretty much any social network, or like obviously you can find my work over on Android Central as well. And if I can drop a quick plug, you should check out Android Central's Galaxy S10 review, because I got to play with a gimbal for the first time for that shoot, and it was amazing. I think the video
It's super
looks
pretty.
really good.
It's super pretty. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Oh man, yeah, it's hard to work with the gimbal, but it's super worth it once you get it figured out.
Yeah, it's fun indeed. I was kind of, thinking of buying Osmo Mobile, but then I dropped the idea.
Yeah, we use the Shimon Crane V2, which is a little bit cheaper than the Osmo Mobile, or Osmo, whatever the one for an actual camera is.
Okay.
So it's a little bit cheaper, and it's like the only downside is it doesn't support as much weight, but we used a GH5 with 3 different lenses, and none of them gave us any issues. So Shiyun's a pretty good option.
So how do you pronounce it? It's Ziyun. It's just like my name, like unique name. Nobody pronounces it correctly. Everybody misspells it.
Oh, same here.
I get a new misspell every day, almost.
Same. Dude, I don't even use my name when I go to like a coffee shop or get like order food or anything. I always use a friend's name because it's easier that way.
Wow. No, I purposefully use my name because then it's fun knowing how they can mess that up. Because I've grown.
I just don't like
that.
going through the whole like. I just don't like doing it where they're like, yeah, can I get a name for your order? And I'm like, yeah, it's Hayato. And they're like, what? And I have to like go through it like 4 or 5 times and spell it out. And it's like, it's just easier for me to just be like, oh yeah, Dakota.
That's normal. That's not a common name to me, at least.
I mean, I know a bunch of people named Dakota, but also it's like it's a state. I feel like most people can.
How do you spell it out?
Dakota.
Oh, I see. All right, man. So this has been a pretty good discussion. I had fun.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah, I had fun indeed.
Yeah, I don't get to do a whole lot of like casual podcasts like this, and this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so that's what I thought. Like, hey, this is the concept which is nice. You don't get to like follow a crisp routine of sorts. You just go on the flow and have a good chat.
Yeah, it's really nice and relaxed.
Yeah. All right, man. I will see you on the internet.
All right,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, thanks for chatting.
And that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, like, share, subscribe, do your thing. And hey, if you have any comments, questions, or constructive criticism, do let me know. Hit me up on Twitter, which is @ShimonIPS, which is SHIMONIPS. And hey, let's have a chat. Let's have a good discussion about everything under the sun. This was a fun one, actually. We recorded after midnight, I guess. It was, I guess, 1 or 2 a.m. for me. But yeah, it was fun nonetheless. Alright, folks, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.